Hello everybody. Today I'm gonna teach you about research methodology. I'm gonna talk about research methodology. What's research? What is the meaning of research? Why do we conduct a research? Unfortunately, most of the people conduct a research for just doing a PhD. All the aim of their life to do a PhD, and after that they become a doctor. No, this is not the reason for conducting the research. We conduct the research for another sake. In fact, there are two approaches or two objectives for conducting a research. The first one is the traditional way of conducting research, which is conducting a research for only filling knowledge gap. Those kind of people, in doing their research, they start reading books, journals, conference papers, and they try to find where is the research gap. Even if this research gap is trivial and not important, this researcher insisted to conduct research in this area. Unfortunately, most of traditional researchers do this kind of research. They try to find a gap in research. Especially in management and the management information system, people try to find just a gap. For which reason? No reason at all, but just filling a gap, publish paper, and they say, we have a research, we have a valuable research. But I don't think so. Just filling a knowledge gap is not a PhD at all, or not a research, and it's not added value at all. On the other hand, other people think that research should be used to solve a problem. This kind of people, we can call them consultant. These people look at the problem from a different perspective. They contact the company and understand the problems for the company, and they try to solve this problem. Unfortunately, this kind of people don't look at books as the others. They try to write 1 or 2 books, 4 or 5 journals, and that's it. And then try to solve the problem from their experience, from their intuitive, from their ability to solve a problem. But unfortunately, they don't dig in literature review as these people. So what's happened? What's the problem here? The problem here, you may find these people reinvented the wheel because they don't know what's happened before. So these people have a major problem. These people, I think, from my perspective, not right. These people, from my perspective, not right. So what's right? The right should be somewhere between. This is continuum, somewhere between. Filling knowledge gap and solve a problem. You have to be in this way. Of course, not all research the same. Different researchers have different objectives. So, could be your research here, 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 here. But in all cases, you have a condition. What's your condition that you must fulfill in order to be a good researcher? That you have to solve a problem, but before solving a problem, you have to make a research. What's a research? That you search in books and papers if someone have conducted this research before or not. Not only that, but also you may find someone have implemented this. So you have to criticize him in order to find a knowledge gap. This is the best mix in order to have a good research. Try to be your idol solving problems, and at the same time try to filling the knowledge gap. Okay, again, what is the objective of research? Why do you conduct research? We understand that we solve problems and we try to fill in knowledge gap. But reality is very different. People have different perspective for the meaning of reality. We are a researcher. We are a researcher. We search for reality, knowledge. This is our aim. Knowledge. Why knowledge? In order to solve our problems. So we are seeking the knowledge. We are searching for knowledge. Again, what is the reality? Do you think that we have a single reality? For example, this, we all say, yes, there is a this. But the interpreting of the this different from people to people, from nation to nation, from religion to religion. So the reality is not a constant. Reality may be fixed, may be changing, we don't know really. So we have two different schools at all. Be aware. Traditionally, people look at research from this way. Now we are in between. And people have different philosophies in research. First philosophy, we call it positivism. This way, this philosophy looks at reality as a single reality. There is a single reality. What do you mean by single reality? That people know the reality. So you can ask people and collect information from people through survey or questionnaire, taking the information from them, statistical analysis for this, and then finally you say, this is the reality. People say, when the price increases, the demand decreases. This is happen when? This is impossible. They say there is a single reality, but this reality in the minds of the people, just what I'm trying to do to get what's in the minds of the people into paper and say to people, look, this is what's the reality. I collected reality from the people. This is on a school. This school is a traditional school. It's not like that. It's based on hypothesis. I put my hypothesis. I say, for example, I think that the demand could be affected by the price, or price could affect the demand. This is a hypothesis. And then I try to ask people if really the price could affect the demand or not. From this information, I can say, yes, the price could affect the demand. This is a positive way. This is a traditional way. The best thing in this way that you can talk to many people, you can do a survey and send survey to many people around the world, so you may get the reality. This way, based on, again, hypothesis and testing hypothesis. Extensive literature review in order to find a research gap, and then this research gap you will define it into hypothesis. From this hypothesis you test it in a statistical way. That's why we call these people quantitative researchers. Why? Because they validate the results through statistics. They think that there is an actual reality, single reality. We are searching for this reality, and we test that we understand others by statistics. Okay? On the other hand, different school looks like these people, which is called interpretive. In fact, we as management information system researcher, we have to look this way. Of course, at the end we will make a comparison and we'll find a research paradox. What's interpretive philosophy? Interpretive philosophy, reality is different from place to place. The reality in this organization is different from reality in this organization. What we respect in this organization, we may not respect in this organization. What we see that's right in Egypt may be wrong in the United States. So different countries have different what's meaning of reality, what's meaning of truth. Truth is different from place to place, country to country. So we have to understand the context. We have to understand this company, this problem alone, and then describing this problem in words. So we say it's qualitative. Why we call it qualitative? Because we describe the event. We may use statistics here, but not for validation, because we don't talk to many people and we are not believers that there is a single reality. There is no single reality. Reality based on these people in this organization, in this behavior, this is the reality for them. So we have different schools, interpretive school and positivism school. This is school, we call it quantitative school because they depend on statistics and testing hypothesis. This school is very different because they try to describe what's happening in the reality. Unfortunately, there is a war between two schools. Big war in research. If you read top journals, you will find a big war. These people don't believe in these people. These people say the science is nothing but hypothesis and testing hypothesis. This is their concept about the science. These people say, no, you are wrong, because there is no single reality. You don't do anything for humanity. You don't do anything for science. You just try to find trivial things and you say that a research. So there is a big war between two schools. What's right and what's wrong? What should be for our nations and what shouldn't be? What should we follow and what we shouldn't, especially in management context? Based on that interpretive, they are trying to solve a problem. For organization, you will never see someone interpretive, maybe in human resources management, but in management information system, it's very hard to see that someone interpretive thinks to filling knowledge gap. Why? Because he couldn't interpret the all behavior of all people in the world. When I interpret, I conduct a research by myself. I have to talk to people. I have to see the machine. I have to see the behavior. I have to see by myself. Because I'm a single person, so I could study one organization, two organizations, three organizations. So this is called case study research. Of course, we have different research methodologies here, but this is the famous one. On the other hand, positivist researcher is not involved in the people. He just says the people, we call it here cases. We talk to people as a cases. We just make a survey and distribute the survey around the world, and we collect the survey to test if there is a conceptual relationship or not. So these people focus on conceptual model. What's the meaning of conceptual model? A relationship between two concepts. Concept affect concept. That's why sometimes we call this research a causal research. Why? Because this research focuses on concept and concept. We have to operationalize this concept into points, into questions, and we operationalize this concept into questions, and we put these questions to people. Based on the answer, we can try to find in the minds of the people there's a relationship between concept and concept. Give me an example. Okay. For example, price and demand. Price is a concept. Demand is a concept. For example, nation and peace. Do you think that peace could affect the nation? Oh my God, this is very good. Peace affects the nation. What is the meaning of the nation? What's the meaning of the peace? Based on this definition, we set a criteria. Based on this criteria, we set a questions. Based on this, we set a question. So the model looks like that. Factors that measure this concept and factors that measure this concept, and from survey, from questionnaire, we try to find relationship between two people. Statistically. The keyword here, statistically. That's why most people say we are quantitative researchers. On the other hand, this model is different. Why? Because this model, when we hear called model, we say action. This could lead to this, and this lead to this, and this lead to this. This is the way of doing a job. This is the way of behaving. This is the way of making a job happen. This is organizational structure. So this is different from here. Here, testing the relationship between two concepts. So that's why we call it conceptual model. But here, no. The model here is different. This is in our case study. How people behave. What is the process? How process can be managed? What is the methodology for managing this? What is the tools that could be used in this way of research, of this way of the project? How can I increase the performance of people? How can I increase? Look at the question. These people think of how. How mean methodology, steps, and these steps, not concept, these steps are in sequential way, so we can put it here. Some people test the methodology in this way. How? Ask you, do you think that we should follow these steps or not? But do you think this way could work well in this way? I don't understand. The best way of being happy in your life, get up early and clean your and wash your face and go to do some practice, some sports. I need to test that. Do you think it's better to put it into survey or noticing, observing people? Into survey, some people say, yes, I can do that. But into survey, I will ask you, do you think that we'll be happy if you do this? It could be misleading. But this way, I observe you when you get up early and you wash your face, you do your sport. I think I see you happy, so I can translate that into happiness. So I can give the same problem two different ways. But what is the best fit? What is the philosophy that's rational? Again, there is a war between positivism and interpretivism. Positivism defines science as a single reality. The science is based on hypothesis and testing the hypothesis, and they try to find a relationship between different concepts. They are more trying to fill in the gap. Most of these people are academics, they are theoretical people, they don't want to dig themselves into the dirty world. On the other hand, these people try to solve a problem, try to find a solution, try to dig themselves in the dirty world to understand what's happened, and then these people trying to solve a problem, these people are qualitative. This is the war between us. So we try to find which is better for us. From my perspective, by the way, I'm doing research qualitative, but when I undergraduate and my master's degree was mainly positivism. So I faced both approaches really in my life. This way, from my perspective, very, very, very important for the nations, for our nations today. Why? Because these people do a research not for library. These people do a research for solving a problem in organization. Huge organization like Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, huge organization. So they could have an impact, a real impact on the organization. But unfortunately, these people couldn't publish easily. Why? Because your problem solved from one organization. When you publish it internationally, who is interested in this research? So you couldn't publish easily by this way. On the other hand, this research is very fantastic, very beautiful. You can publish a lot because you ask many people around the world, so your results are, a lot of people are interested, but maybe these people interested in it for fun, for just filling a gap. So you can publish here very good, so your university rank will be increased. Maybe that's better for university in order to increase your income for university. But at the same time, this one is very important for country in order to be developed. Because this researcher work hand in hand with organizations, with companies, and this researcher become a consultant, so they could improve the productivity and efficiency of the organization. So there is a research mass. There is a research paradox. We should follow which way of philosophy. At the end, I need to address something very important. This is our course. Our course will be 80 sessions. The first 10 about filling knowledge gaps, solving problem, hypothesis, how can I formulate hypothesis, what's the meaning of literature review, how could I conduct a literature review, what's the meaning of critical literature review, critical writing for literature review. This is the main topic here. What's the meaning of research question, research objectives. Of course, here we focus on research question, research objective. Here focus on hypothesis. I need to understand the different philosophies. This is our first step, 10 sessions. Every session for 1 week. Next, we have 30 sessions in positivism. We will discuss different statistical techniques. We have for factor analysis, regression analysis, structural equation modeling, stepwise analysis. We have different statistical techniques. In addition, we need to learn how to use SPSS as a software package so we can use this research. So we have 30 course here, 30 session here, and this we have 30 session. We will go to in depth what's the meaning of action research, what's the meaning of case studies, how could you utilize a case study, Delphi, what's the meaning of Delphi, open-ended interviews. I will focus here also on observation, participatory workshops, different research methodologies for interpretive approach. At the end, I have 10 sessions will be in advanced matters. I will focus in these 10 sessions on two things. The first thing is the mixed research. How could I conduct mixed research? What's the meaning of mixed research as a philosophy? How could you create your paradigm? The second thing that I will discuss papers from top journals. I will focus mainly on MIS quarterly and top journals, and I will criticize the paper. The paper from the start, and we will study this paper. How could I write a paper like top journals? Will be the major focus. This is our course. It will be 8 sessions. Each session should be 20 minutes. It will be once per week, so we need roughly 2 years in order to finish this course. By the way, you have our Facebook group, so you could log in, so you could see our suggested reading, my literature notes, so you could read my lecture notes. Also, you have in the YouTube, you will have my blog. In your blog, you can see the literature notes, so you could read it, and with my video, it will be very nice. And even before the next video, you could study it before coming. My video should be Saturday or Sunday, and the lecture notes should be on Friday. Okay? Thank you. Bye-bye.